introduction on Module 6. The title is Footing Design and Detailing based on Australian Standards and Codes. I will be covering the most common footing systems used in Australian residential projects such as stiffened raft slab, waffle slab, timber subfloor, and strip footings. In Module 1, you've learned about terminology and technical phrases used in residential projects, as well as the common materials, common section sizes, what to expect from a set of architectural drawings, what does a set of structural drawings look like, who are the other professionals involved in a residential project in Australia, what are their responsibilities, and if you're looking for a specific piece of information or clarification on a specific piece of information, who should you be contacting? So, Module 1 is the general understanding. Then in Module 2, you learned how to design roof elements and how to do the drafting. In Module 2, I designed a roof element manually from the start to the end, and I compared the results of my manual computations with the outcome of the designing software package that I use, which is Structural Toolkit. So you can build up the trust on the software package, and you can get to know the software package, and you can use it with awareness, not just blindly. So in Module 2, I ran you through the clauses that you need to consider in your design, as well as checking the clauses that they are in the Structural Toolkit, which is the software package that I use for designing. So Module 2, designing and drafting structural roof elements. Then Module 3, you've learned how to design beams, lintels, and columns, and how to do the drafting for it. In Module 4, you've learned how to put the framing connection details together using common commercial products, or just how to connect, for example, a steel beam to a steel column. There's no commercial product really available, so you need to put the detailing together, how to weld the clip plate, or how to connect a beam to a column if the frame is a portal frame. So different connection details, and you got to download the library, the detailing library, which I explained every single detail in the AutoCAD library, and in which cases you can use each detail. In Module 5, you learned about bracing systems, wind load, how to calculate the wind load, and also the relevant clauses in AS 1684.2 and .3 that you need to consider when you work on bracing design. And also you learned how to do the drafting for bracing layout and bracing details. In Module 6, you will learn about the footing systems. Now, like the previous modules, I will be using lots of on-site photos and videos to make sure that whatever is explained, there is an image here for it and you visualize it. So this way, whatever design you provide, you consider the buildability, and it actually makes it easier to communicate with contractors because you get to see their side of story as well, and you get to see the possible challenges and issues that they might come across, and you can consider that in your design, which means your designs are going to be more practical and buildable and cost effective at the same time. Now, in Module 6, I have three parts. In the first part, I'll have some on-site videos explaining different footing systems used in Australian residential buildings. Then I go through AS 2870 requirements for each footing system. So, for example, if you're using a subfloor system, what are the requirements for a subfloor system in AS 2870 that you should consider in your design when you provide a footing layout or footing details? And last, explaining expected structural issues due to faulty footing design or construction based on real life cases. Part of my job, I work on forensic cases. Forensic cases are the cases that a building is experiencing one or a number of issues, and a structural forensic engineer gets out there and analyzes the failures and finds out about the reasons and the factors contributing to the issue. Now, working on so many cases that residential buildings were experiencing movements and settlements, and they were experiencing some cracks on the walls, internal, external, even on the floors, I will be passing on the information to you, things that you shouldn't do in your design, because if you do them, this will be the consequence. So I will share the real life photos of the cracked houses and the contributing factors to the movements and settlements, so you will make sure that you will keep them in mind when you design a footing system. So it's basically you're learning from someone else's mistakes. So you're not gaining the experience the hard way. After the first part, I'll be working on the second part, which is finishing the first project that I started working on throughout the course. So I will be designing the footing and providing the footing details and footing plan for the first project. And in the third part, I'll be working on the footing design and footing drafting, which is the footing plan and footing details for the second project. So I repeat the process 3 times using 2 different real life projects, and one is just things that you need to know. So repeating all that, I want to make sure that everything will be here and there won't be any questions about the material that you've learned. So that means you're going to be confident and you know how you design the things, and you know about the factors that you need to consider in your design and the clauses in the codes, and you can explain your design to your potential boss or to a recruiter. So you will be able to confidently back up your design and explain your design to other professionals. The software packages I'll be using AutoCAD and PDF, and I will be using Australian standards and codes as well. I will use AutoCAD to put the footing plan together, as well as putting footing details together. Same as module 4, in this module, I will give you a library of different footing details, and I will explain in which cases you can use each detail. So it's not just passing on something to you and just leaving it to you to just work it out and use it yourself. That's not the case. I will explain each detail, and you will be using these details in your projects throughout the course. And if you purchase the whole course and the internship, then you'll be using these details for your internship projects as well. Australian standards and codes. As we know by now, everything has to comply with the standards and codes, and the codes that are used for the footing design will be AS 2870 mainly, and I will touch base on AS 3600, some of the relevant clauses. I will use PDF to read the architectural drawings or just to read the codes. Now, how can you have access to these software packages? You can book a time if you're an early bird, or if you work better at night, or if you have work during the day and you can only practice at night. It doesn't matter. You have access to the software packages 24/7. You can book a session and you can just practice during that time with the software packages and with the necessary Australian standards and codes such as AS 2870, AS 1170, and so on. After each video, I will be summarizing the video to make sure everything is categorized, and also if the material has the potential to put a flow chart together, I will put flow charts together to make sure that you've got something to use in your future projects. Also, to make sure that everything is just categorized and organized here, and you will be a master at what you just learned in the video. And of course, as I said, lots of on-site photos and on-site videos explaining the footing systems and the potential problems and things that you need to consider in your design to make sure that your design is not going to be one of the designs that the owner is going to or will be experiencing some issues in sometime after the construction. So there's image and video for everything, so you can visualize whatever you've learned in module 6. After each submodule, there will be quizzes for you to answer, to practice, and if you don't answer the question right, that's fine. You can go back to the videos, watch the videos again, and practice again to make sure you're 100% before you go to the next submodule. Also, you will have access to Learnpedia course discussion groups. It's not just you. You won't be just on your own. You will have access to discussion groups, and you will be able to ask questions or answer someone's question if they need help. So you will be contributing and others will be contributing to the group. So it's not just you. You will have the support, and I'm also a member of the groups as well, so I keep an eye on the groups. At the end of the module, if you pass the final test, you will receive a digital badge and a PDF format certificate. Now, the digital badge, you can use it on your LinkedIn platform. So your potential bosses or recruiters, they can click on the badge and they can see the material that you've learned, your score, and so on. So that's more accessible. So you can just put it on LinkedIn and anyone can have a look and see what have you done in this course and what is the score, what did you learn. So it adds value to the profile itself, and it's basically us approving that you've done the course, and these are the skills that you gained from doing the course. And the PDF format, you can just use it if you want to attach it to emails, send it to someone, or any other purposes. If you purchase the whole course and the internship, you will have access to a platform that is specifically for internship. During the internship, I will assign different projects to you to design from the start to the end on your own independently. For example, let's say I assign project 1. In project 1, I ask you to design the roof system and do the drafting for it as well. Once you're done with that part, you will have access to a video. That's me designing that part of the same project. So the same part of the same project that you're working on, so you get to check your design and see if you've done something wrong, and if you've done something wrong, where was the mistake and how can you fix it. So for each project assigned to you, for each part of the project, first you do the part, and then you have access to the videos showing me designing the project, and you get to check your project and correct your project. So it doesn't matter which part of the world you are living at. There's a platform, everyone can connect to that platform. You can ask questions, or you can answer other students' questions that are doing the internship, and I will be part of the group as well and keeping an eye on the conversation. And if I can help, and I can see no one's really knowing the answer, and your question hasn't been answered, then I will jump in and I will answer your question. So you've got the support there from my side and from the other students. Now, when you finish the whole course, after you pass the final test for each module, and you pass the final test for all the modules, which is the final test for the whole course, you will receive a badge and a PDF format of the certificate. But in this digital badge, you will have the content about the skills and what you've learned for the whole course. So module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then internship, and these are the things that you've learned, and this is your score. So if you purchase just module 6, you will receive a digital badge just for module 6. But if you purchase the whole course, you will receive a digital badge for the whole course, not for individual modules. Okay? And in that digital badge for the whole course, you will have the contents of all the modules and the skills that you've learned throughout the course and your final score. Now, imagine you've got all the projects, portfolios, you purchased the full course and the internship, so your resume is filled with information and just qualified and qualified and qualified and qualified. So you've designed local projects, you worked on local projects independently, you've got a portfolio of real life projects. So when you apply for a job, of course, Learnpedia graduates are going to be the winners. So you will get the job, and there's no doubt. Considering that, I can't wait to see you in module 6, and I can't wait to see you throughout the whole course and the internship.